Check, check, 1, 2.
I better get myself off the screen here until I get dressed, properly dressed. Okay, let's see. There we
Costume?
go. Costume change. Yes. That'd be great.
YouTube is only about 2 to 4 seconds behind real life, and Facebook is about 25 seconds behind.
2 to 4 seconds.
Yeah, I know.
Next thing you know, it's going to be ahead of real life.
Well, I'm hoping that it just continues. I'll be a happy camper. How's everybody out there doing?
Hello out there in Bridgeland.
I like that Bridgeland. Who do we have here with us today?
Is that like Candyland, Bridgeland? I guess it is for bridge players.
Probably. Like crack candy, right?
Mm-hmm. I always say those national tournaments where they got those grand ballrooms and there's hundreds of tables. It's like Disneyland for bridge players.
Uh-huh.
What is the latest on Disneyland? I heard that things aren't going so well for Disneyland. I didn't really read any articles. Have you heard anything on that?
No, I just got an email that was kind of weird because I don't really have a lot to do with Disneyland, so I didn't know why I was getting it.
It was from Disneyland?
Yeah, I don't think I read it.
Must be bad if they're sending things out to us.
Alrighty, that call-in number for anyone who wants to volunteer is 5,
5,
6,
6,
3,
3,
9, 9, 9, 2, 1, 8, 5. How about it? Do we have a volunteer out there today?
I volunteer. Oh, this is Michael. I can't volunteer. I've already volunteered.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, that's harsh.
Yeah, baby.
That's better. Yeah, baby.
Apparently one was you and one was me.
That's true. Okay, I have my IEM in position.
I-E-M.
In-ear monitor. I know everybody thinks that, hey, he can't hear, but you're the only one that really knows I can't hear, Grace.
You have selective hearing, I will say that.
Oh, ouch. True. Okay. Hey, I like that music. I got that other one that I was doing on the recording session last night out of my head.
Good. And what's he going to say now? Remember last year?
Maybe yes, maybe no.
Hi, Bernice. How are you? How's Canada today? Oh, see, look at that. Remember last year? That's like Canada. Remember last year?
Yeah.
Warm and sunny. I like it. Hi, Howard. And what about in Philadelphia? Is it getting muggy yet? Beautiful day here in Petaluma, about 82 degrees. That's just perfect. Okay, I'm going to put that call-in number. How about it? We got a volunteer today? While Michael prepares his hands. Hi, Barb. Claremont, California. Yay, another Californian.
Claremont.
Welcome.
Hey. Grace remembers Claremont well.
No. You're talking Southern California, near LA.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's C-L-A-R-E, not A-I-R.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Michael's referring to one of the... Apparently you're not familiar with the upper development of the Oakland Hills, Claremont. Alrighty, we've got the countdown here. Let's go ahead and get this off so Michael can start the show.
We're getting there, aren't we? Time flies by when we're having fun.
It does. Flies by even when we're not having fun.
Mm-hmm.
It just goes by quickly.
Maybe you should come here when we... Well, you want to save it for the end? Our new format? Maybe I should just bring it off right at the beginning, I think.
You want me to go over there?
Yeah, why don't you come on over? We'll kind of tee it off together. 5, 4, 3. Grace, are you there?
I am here. Hi.
Green Bridge friends, Michael here at BridgeHands, along with the one, the only,
She who must be obeyed.
Grace Nistler. Bend the knee, kiss the ring. So, welcome, Bridge friends. I hope you're having a good day today. This is Hump Wednesday, I do believe, and in history, 10 years ago, I don't know if you saw in the email that I said, but there was something about a flash crash. There was something else I was reading about. There was a, I don't know how many years ago, but in England. The British had discovered and made one of the very first programmable storage computers. And very interesting for us computer geeks that are into that sort of thing. But Grace, tell us about your computers.
My computers?
Yeah.
Which ones? The ones that we've got over here?
Whichever ones you want to talk about. How are your computers treating you these days?
So far, they've all been good, knock on wood. So, we are excited to share the new format. I hope you all got the email. Michael's going to work on a poll as far as getting the exact times keyed in, but for now, we've got that pretty tentative, don't we?
Tentative, that's a good choice of words. So we're going to have a poll. Right now, we're going to be on Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. So there won't be any lesson tomorrow. Who knows, we might change some of these things around, but once we get the poll out to you, we'll look forward to your input. And right now, we're just going to keep it with 1 p.m. Pacific time out in California. And but we're flexible on these types of things, aren't we?
Yes, we're going to kind of do the poll to see what works for the majority of people, because being here live is going to be imperative on Wednesdays.
Yeah, it'll be on Wednesdays, and as long as you don't have to be a member to be on Wednesdays or Fridays. As long as you're here live with us, that's fine. Starting next week, though, is that if you don't see it live, it's kind of a unpublished link, so you won't be able to see them after the fact. So come on, I appreciate you being here live in the flesh, and as always, we have a lot of lessons over at BridgeHands. But yeah, that's what we're going to do is Wednesday and Friday. And then for our members, they not only can see the Wednesday and Friday anytime they want to, but the Saturday lesson, which is the better part of 2 hours, they'll be there for that as they are now. So emails will go out with those private links for those who are the premium and subscriber members.
And then on Fridays, we do like our fun Fridays. So we're going to keep the ABCs. We are going to probably limit it to just 1 or 2 questions so we can still do a hand of the day. So if you want to go ahead and send that in, your questions, to support@bridgehands.com, make sure you put on the title bar questions so that he's not reading it and I am. So if you want to get those in, we can do a couple on Friday.
Yeah, at least 2, I'm sure. If they're long questions, we'll not do too many if they're multi-part questions, as we found. But yeah, that's the format. So be sure to be here on Friday. There's a lot of fun things we got coming up on that day.
We do. And in the meantime, I'm going to give you back over to Michael and let him do his show today.
Thank you. Okay.
See you later.
Good job. Off to a good start. So are we ready?
Well, yes.
Well, yes, we are.
Hello, Bill.
Okay,
and Patty.
Let's see. I think we've got some slides here. Let's get our slides going up and chalk talk. Not too much. This is going to be mostly review. And oh my goodness, Grace, there's one thing I didn't do that I see. Excuse me, one moment. A technical issue I see here. Everything is backwards.
Everything's backwards?
1, 2, 3.
I thought that was just me.
2, and...
Hello, Bill. Patty, I don't know that much about Kindle as far as doing chat. Hi, John.
That looks much better. Let me get my... Has anybody called in yet?
No volunteers to that wonderful call-in number, which is 563-999-2185. Do you have a prize for the first caller today, Michael?
Oh, yeah, we get a good one like we always do. I'm willing to give them a month of BridgeHands Ultra membership. So,
all right.
In the interim, let's go ahead and get started. So you recall on cover cards, we'll just go through these very quickly. But we normally, the general rule is we touch or cover the last of touching honors that we see in the dummy or that we think are in the declare's hand, which brings up a good point. I hadn't brought this up before, and that is there's something called a pseudo finesse, which is where you make it look like you have the extra honors in the hidden hand and you don't really. I'll maybe get into that another day, though. But when it's a trump suit, we normally don't cover that honor. We just go ahead and play low.
Hi, Patty.
Oh,
hey, Patty is
Patty.
in. Patty, how are you?
Hi.
Gosh, good to hear your voice.
Well, I think I have enough energy. Yeah.
You're sounding like you've got great energy today.
Yeah, I hope so.
Okay, well, go ahead and stand by just for a little bit, and I'm going to be covering a little bit of the slides, and then we'll get into the first hand, okay?
Good, I'll be taking notes.
All right, okay. So as we were talking about, we don't normally cover a trump at all. We certainly wouldn't want to play like a king from King Doubleton and it crashes with our partner's ace. And some of these kind of get into that if we're worried about what our partner's holding might be. So another things we want to think about is, is the dummy suit going to be promotable? We're going to see some of that today. We have to kind of look at the dummy, kind of think what the declarer's line of play is, and can we actually, by doing the ducking, can we block the entries into dummy? Ooh, shh. I think we're going to see more on that one too. And we take a look at the distribution. If we have a long suit and we think like the declarer or a partner has long suits, it might be something. And the last one there says you might promote the partner's jack, yes, or maybe the 10 or maybe even the 9, depending upon how long the suit is, if it's evenly split between the 4 players, like 4-3-3-3 shape, something like that. And lastly, could the declarer be a void in a suit? So if you think, oh, I see like king running in the dummy, and you've got the ace after it, so say North has got the king, queen, jack 5 times, and you've got the ace 3 times, you think, wow, if I go up with the ace, will they rough it and then get back to the dummy? So does the dummy have entries is another part of what we're looking at. So I think that is about it. Let's go ahead, and with Patty on the line, we are ready to go ahead and hit that first hand. So let's take a look over in Deep Finesse, and our first hand looks like this. And who actually is going to be the dealer on this hand? Hold on just a second. My guess is it's going to be probably East. Let's start off by taking a look at, the North hand. That's right. So Patty, North hand, there it is. Looks like 7-3. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 7, 3, 2, 1 is the shape. Pretty nice clubs. So you're in first seat. What do you like to do with these hands?
Well, there's 3 losers in hearts, 2 losers in spades.
Yeah, you're starting to
And
count
only
your
one-
losing trick count. I think you can because your suit quality on clubs is a suit quality of 9. You've got 3 honors and 7 long. It's a suit quality of 10. Hoo-hoo. So you only got 1
I
loser in
defended
clubs.
it.
You're right.
Yeah.
So you
I
got
de-
5
I
losers in the
defended
major suits.
Yeah. So,
So-
I'm tempted to disrupt their bidding
Oh, okay, in
by
first seat.
bidding 3 clubs.
By bidding what?
2
By
clubs,
bidding
right?
3 clubs.
Oh,
3
3.
clubs. Okay. 3. Count them 3. There is one thing about that, though, and let's just go ahead and go back to our losers. And, I see a lot of people that handle this hand different ways. So you've got no losers
Yeah,
in
they should
diamonds.
do
You've
their
got 1 loser in clubs,
Everybody can win.
and you've got 5 losers in the major suits. 6 loser, I open 7 loser hands all the time. A lot of hands until we have a partnership 5th there really turn out to be 8 loser hands. So, I don't know. I guess in third seat, I think I would be maybe inclined to do that. Make it harder for them to find a spade fit. And if they do, maybe my partner's got a bunch. But I would do 1 club for the simple reason is that if I did 3 clubs, I better not have an outside ace, or what am I doing?
Wow, John agrees
Right.
with you explicitly.
Explicitly. So, but I wouldn't say that people don't do this, Patty, and it might work sometimes. The question is, will it work more than half the time? And we know that there's 1 in 3 chance that we're going to be preempting our partner because there's still 3 more bids.
Right.
If it was second seed, that would be even worse to do because now you got a 50-50 chance. But okay, so you're doing 3 clubs. All right. So yes, Grace, what is it?
John also adds that he might also pass and wait for the partner to bid.
I see that. Well, in the club suit, it can be, unlike the spade suit, it can run away from you fairly quickly. But I guess another question is, would you rebid this 2 or even 3 times? Oh, sure. It's a 7-card suit. And so you'd be more worried, I think, Patty, if it was a singleton ace of diamonds. Then it's like, uh-oh. At least you've got a couple in the major there.
Yeah.
All right. So, okay, your choice was going to be 3 clubs. So some of us yes, some of us no. But I think that's a good discussion. A lot of these things, they're not absolutes. But let's go.
Well, let's gamble. Let's gamble.
She's in the gambling mood
In
today.
the gambling mood. Okay, good for you. We like gamblers. Sometimes. Okay, to the east hand.
And it may not be this one.
I'll try to take care of the east hand. This is a 6-4-2-1. Hey, there's another shapely hand. And no, I'm not going to come in after Patty did 3 clubs. Doggone it. Would I actually do 1 spade if she bid 1 club? Well, if you're the type of player that says I'll only make an overcall if I've got an opening hand or if I've got good lead direction if they end up at no trump. So some people would say pass. Others would, hey, jack 5 times. I'll just open anyway. I don't really like the singleton ace. Too bad it's not an ace jack 5 or 6 times. So I think most people are going to pass, and certainly after 3 clubs by Patty, it's a pass, no doubt about that, to the south hand. Oh, yeah, Patty, okay, so I bid 3 clubs. Now what are you going to do with the south hand?
Right.
Yeah, see?
Howard says that, and I think this is going back to what you were speaking of earlier, it depends on the vulnerability.
Vulnerability would be a factor. That is good, thank you. The seat and the vulnerability are very relevant. So, Patty, south hand, what's your call now?
Yeah. Well, if I could have bid 2 clubs, I would have, but it means something else. So he can't do a 2-no goose.
No.
And he's kind of in a pickle. Wow.
So is a new suit forcing here?
He has 2 clubs, so that means we have 9. And he has points. And he knows that I don't have many diamonds, he doesn't know how many diamonds I have.
No, not at all.
He could probably bid 3 hearts.
3 hearts. See, it gets a little bit tricky now, doesn't it?
We got a couple
3
of
hearts.
Yeah.
Oops, excuse me. I got to make that a heart. Grace.
We've got a couple of comments coming in. People seem to pretty much be in sync with 3 no trump.
Another says 5 clubs. Another option. So 3 hearts should be forcing. It's a good discussion. So 3 hearts, and over in the West hand, they're very much amused, as you'll see in a little bit. I'll just show it for a couple seconds. But West has got 5 hearts to the 9-8-7, an outside ace of jack, a king, queen, jack of diamonds, and an king 10 3 times in spades. I'm going to go back to the north hand here. Yes, Grace.
Jim asks, why is an outside ace a reason to not preempt with 3?
A good question. At the 2 level, I don't have a problem with it. At the 3 level, I will never. I think never is a pretty big word. 99+% of the time, I will not do it in first or second seat.
Okay.
If I have 2 of the top 3 honors and I've got a 7-card suit, I don't have but a 7-loser hand, and I've got a rebiddable suit if I've got a 7-card suit. Yeah, you might say it was jack running low. I don't know, but it's just one of those things. If you are not doing it with 2 of the top 3, then I think when your partner puts you in 3 no trump, and the only entry you got as an outside ace is like, hey, partner, we're going to have a talk about this later. I am not so happy with you making these preempts with just junk in your preempt suit. And if you did have 2 of the top 3, then why didn't you just open at the 1 level? We missed a slam. So that, for me, is the reason why. Sorry to put a lot of energy in this, but I am pretty strong on not doing it with an outside ace.
And then Ed does have a follow-up, but I'm not sure. You may have answered that. Did he answer that for you already, Ed, in his previous comment?
Well, I'm going to keep going just because we'll be out of time here before we even get started. So we haven't even started to do the point of the lesson. So it's 3 hearts to you. What are you going to do in the north hand? Patty?
Yeah, I'm tempted to pass at this point.
You cannot pass.
But
No.
I can't, so I have to say 4 clubs because I have lousy spades.
Yeah, I think so. So 4 clubs. So, you kind of, why didn't I open 1 club? And in the south, we're, okay, you've got a great club suit, and, I'm going to do 6 no, whatever. I'm not sure what's going on here, but Sounds like that's a good place to be. So anyway, they end up
Oh
in
my
6-0, and if you would have opened one club,
Wow.
we would have been there anyway. So the point is, I want it to be in 6-0. Doggone it. So we're going to go over to the east hand. So I'm sorry, west hand. West, you are on the lead, and West. Well, isn't this interesting? Okay, we've
Double.
got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 points in there in 6-0 trump. And there's that. I know there's a lot of clubs in the north. I've heard one club and rebid 3 clubs, or in Patty's case, it started with 3 clubs and went to 4 clubs after the forcing 3 hearts. So, yeah, I guess you're going to probably do the King of Diamonds, aren't you?
They should.
We just need 2 tricks. I don't know if we doubled or not,
Yep.
but okay. So we're going to go ahead and make that, and I'm going to show a north and a west hand, and here it comes, the king, and there was an ace. Patty did have an ace when she opened 3 clubs. How about that? And so, okay, so now we're going to take a look at the north-south hand, and all right, so we want to have a plan, and man, we want that ace of clubs to come out real fast, don't we? We're going to have problems. We don't want to try a spade finesse. And the diamonds are like, well, that suit is gone. So we've only got one shot at this, and that is to play a club. Are you going to play the king of clubs, queen of clubs, little clubs? What are you going to play, Patty?
The king.
The king. Okay, so now we're going to go to the north and the east hand. Northeast, I think, is right about here. And so, okay, the king has been played. Oops, hey, you're not supposed to play so fast. That's not supposed to have been a played card. Okay, so we're going to play the king of clubs, but the computer's going to try to just making a play for me. I don't want that. So on the king of clubs, are you going to... Well, I
I
guess...
lost you.
Are you going to play the 9 or the jack, or does it matter?
Huh. I don't know. Are you trying to fool somebody by playing the jack?
Well, I guess you know there's 7, and we don't know how many are in south hand from the perspective of this person. Not too many, I guess, but...
Oh, if you play the jack, it's actually helping me.
yeah, so is it, well, perhaps, you know, if we've got double 10, unless they think we have 3, that's true. It might give some information, but the question is, should you play a count signal here? Now, I don't know if you're upside down or stand.
John just says that it's a request for playing the low, giving him a heart, because it's the lower major.
It might be for a suit preference in some case, but you know, it's pretty relevant to show your partner in West the count, I believe.
Yeah.
But let's say you don't do that. You just play the 9 and you say, okay, so now we're going to go to the northwest hand, northwest. And okay, so your partner played the 9, and now do you win the ace? Do you hold up and then maybe they start running in another suit, or, you know, what do you do here? Not the easiest decision to make. I guess that, this is a different type of, do you cover right away or do you cover the next trip? In other words, do you think you can disrupt transportation? The big question is it a 7-2-2-2 suit, or is it a 7-3-1 suit? If it's 3 in the south, it just doesn't really matter, I don't think. But,
but the king of spades could be promoted, possibly. Right. So maybe you should take the trick now.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, so let's go ahead and take the trick, and let's see if that's a winning or a losing play. So we're going to go back here to this hand. And now you can see if you play the 4, it's got a ++. You're going to win with an over trick. But if you play the ace, that is a loser play. So how about that? So yeah, and that maybe they should have played the jack. Maybe they should have played like a high-low count signal. I'm not saying it's really sure. But I guess that if you think they're going to do a lot of damage on other suits, that's another thing. But and by the way, I guess it could be 3 no trump as well as 6, but that's kind of the point on it, I guess. And I guess, I'm sorry, it would need to be 6 clubs, I guess, or else you would just win the ace and could go ahead and continue with the diamonds. And I had it like a 3 no trump contract, but so I'm going to show what the contract was over there. And so, yeah, if it was 6 no trump, you would win the ace and obviously just continue the diamonds. But if it was 6 clubs, then this would be the critical play. Grace, go ahead.
We've got a few comments here. I'm going to just choose one to keep it moving. Playing the ace of clubs defeats the contract immediately.
That's what I'm saying. If it was in 6 no trump, and that was my mistake. Initially, I had this as a 3 no trump contract, but you make actually 12 tricks if you, and I would have had to change the other one, but I'm talking about a 6 club contract. So my apology on that. But you can see in this, in 3 no trump, is that if you duck, they can't get back to the dummy. And if you made it a higher contract, then fine. Yeah, if it, so as people are saying, a king goes to the ace, and then you go ahead and get your 2 tricks, but they're going to make their 3 no trump contract. So, okay, I hope that gives a feel in terms of a couple items. One is that, how do you feel about, you know, a running suit? I think that's pretty much a running suit and an outside ace. I would be fine in the 3rd seat. I'm not so wild in the 1st or 2nd seat. My view with an outside ace, because I just don't have but about 6 losers. That's a pretty doggone good hand. I'll rebid 2 clubs. My partner bids 2 spades. I'll rebid 3 clubs. My partner goes to 3 no trump. Then hey, I've got an outside entry as well as 2 of the top 3. Yeah. Anyway, just my thoughts on that. And this thing about when you've got like a 7-2-2-2 suit, whatever the contract is that sometimes it's useful to kind of be thinking is that, do you want to give your partner a count signal, or do you want to give, like what Patty had was like a really tough guess over in that West hand. And if we don't have to give our partner a guess, that may be even better. Well, that was kind of an interesting and tough one to start. So, and let's go ahead and go look at the next hand here. So, sorry I said that it was 6 no trump. It was supposed to have been 3 for the first one. Some of these other ones coming up are...
Yeah, that was pretty scary.
Yeah, I guess that's... Yeah, why don't you get your money's worth there to have scary ones. So, we're going to go to hand number 2, and let's go ahead and rewind that and... get that one come up. And this time I'm going to look at the contract here, because that last one was supposed to be a 3 no trumper. Okay, so it is going to be in south, and let's see what we're going to do for the bidding. South is going to be the dealer. That would be a south to show, and I'm going to describe it until it shows up on your screens. Ace, queen, jack, 8 spot 5 times in spades, ace 3 times in diamonds, ace doubleton of hearts, and king, jack 3 times in club suit. So, all right, that's a nice opening hand. What do you want to do with that one, Patty?
19 points, 1 spade.
1 spade. 1 spade it is. And over to the west hand, they're going to pass. And the north hand? North hand. I'll try the north hand. Well, let's see. I've got 6 and 3 and 3 and at least 1 or more for the 4 spades. So, nice. Yeah, hey, I know it's a 4 triple 3, but hey, definitely game values. 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13. We can do a Jacoby 2 no trump. You certainly don't want to do 4 no trump because what? You do not have an ace or a king in one of the suits. So that will take care of that. So let's do a 2 no trump here. And a pass and back to south. Now, I don't know, Patty, do you have your rebids mastered on Jacoby 2 no trump?
Yeah.
You do. So
Yeah.
what do you think you want to bid on this one? I will say before you do that, I like the idea of not the original, which was, Grace has got a point. What's the matter?
We want to see the hand, please, the south.
We're not to that. Oh, I guess we are to that. You are right, darling. As always, refer to rule number 1. So on the rebid, I believe we should be doing slow shows fast denies. Originally, Oswald, with the Ozzy Oswald Jacoby, he had where he said 3 spades shows a 6-card suit, but most people like, it was a nice idea with the 2 no trump to make it lower than 4 no trump, but now I think what we want to do is this. If you've got the weak hand with a 7 to 8 losers, just go 4 of your major 4 spades. If you've got something more like about a 1 no trump opener in values, that is about about 15 to 17, or said another way, you've got a 6 loser hand, then you can go ahead and bid 3 no trump. Doesn't mean you're balanced. It just says you're not just the weakest hand. You got a little bit more. You bid the next step down from 4 of the major. If you have the strong hand, then you bid 3 of your major, which says, yeah, I've got about a 5 loser, and I've got some really strong interest, because it sounds like you may have 4 winners, maybe you even have 5 winners. You'll take care of all of mine. And then those other 2 are that, when you have a singleton or a void, you bid the 3x on the side suit, which is shortness. Or if you come back with 4 of another suit, 4y, let's say, that shows a 5-card side suit and 2 of the top 3 in that suit, 2 of the top 3 honors. So I don't know if I confused you with all this, but so what are you going to rebid now after you've heard 2 no trump?
I'm definitely going to review. I'm going to review what you wrote down there.
Okay, so
Although
8 and 4 is 12,
covering.
and another 4
Yeah.
is 16, and another 4 is 20. Sounds like you got the maximum hand. If you take a look at losers, you got 1 loser there. You got another 2 in the diamonds. I don't know if we have 1 in spades or not. I'm not going to say we do, especially when you have a 4th.
Yeah.
I wouldn't anyway. So then it's like, do we have 1 or 2 here? So we got 1 to 2 there. So I guess from a standpoint of losers is what, 2 diamonds, a heart, and maybe 1 in clubs. So yeah, I think we're pretty strong. I think we go 3 spades for sure.
Yeah.
See?
I would, but there's a problem that the north hand is 4-3-3-3.
Oh, we don't know that. We just only bid our hand.
Oh, that's it.
3
yeah.
spades. We bid 3 spades, and our partner will say what to do next. And so, okay, back to the north hand, and we're saying, all right. So my partner's got a maximum. Do I have 3 cover cards? I think is what we should be asking. If they've got only 4 losers to start with, why didn't you open 2 clubs?
Howard has a question. Are we in MPs or IMPs?
Didn't say. I guess let's say imps. So we want to stretch a little bit. International match points, let's say. So I think we have 2 possibilities there. We have 1 here. So we've got 3. I guess that I don't think I just want to sign off. But the tripletons, it's all about that heart suit, doggone it. I just don't know about the heart suit. So I suppose what you might want to do is to say, my partner did that. I'm just going to do 4 clubs. It's cheap. I'm going to show my ace and see what my partner wants to do. And they go say, oh, okay, we're cubiting. I like that. My partner's got little extras, got some life in them. 4 diamonds to show the ace, and then and the heart suit. Well, North, we're not going to say anything about the heart suit. Nope. Yeah, we're kind of through now. 4 spades. And so, yeah, if you listen to your partner, but a lot of people, I got 20 points, and let me reevaluate. I got 1 loser, 2, 3 losers, no losers there. I'm going to go. So there are those that will go, and that's the way this hand was designed. The person went for whatever reason. We might not, because we're hopefully a little bit better bidders, but it's going to all depend on whether you cover honors with the honors, which is what this lesson was really about. So, okay, so the opening lead is going to be with the west hand, and they come up with a 10 of hearts. Okay, that's kind of interesting from our perspective. Let's look at that. We've got a jack and a queen and an ace. So, as always, it gets to good old East, and East and North. We're going to take a look at those two hands. And so, as you can see, if you're going to go up with the king, you are not going to make it. But wait a second, didn't we talk the other day, cover the last of touching honors? Is that what Michael said, Patty?
Yes.
But how can this not work? It doesn't work all the time,
Yeah.
does it?
Yeah, but your partner just finessed you.
Well, I suppose, maybe it would have come from the other hand anyway, but, it was, I'm going to show all four hands here, and you can say, partner, it was your fault. Yeah, I don't know what you would have led. I don't think you would have led a singleton, or excuse me, a 7 from King 7. Some people will do that, thinking that they'll still play the other person. You get your king next time, but you still have that same problem after you win your king of spades, even if you play the 7 the first time.
They should have led the 4 of diamonds, or the 9 of diamonds or something.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe in retrospect, Grace.
Howard says missing the king of spades is a loser.
Yeah. So, any rate, I guess that the point is do you cover? And we normally do cover, but when it's this type of a situation, sometimes when there's few in that suit and things can go wrong elsewhere, we have to consider that. So I could have some other hands where you would want to cover the second time, as we'll see. And I guess what I'm trying to say is if you don't get it right every time, some of these things are just not always absolutes. So
Right.
I guess that
Yeah, because if you had more hearts than the dummy, your partner may have had a singleton heart or something. I don't know.
well, I don't think by the bidding, then South would have done a rebid of the hearts. I do believe if we had 4 and there's 3, I doubt that's the case. But at any rate, the point I'm trying to say is we normally cover the last, and I think you're going to see some hands that show that. But there are some things we'll need to also consider, and this is one of those, well, how could that work? We thought we knew that we always covered the second. And like you said, there was the lead of the 10. We would think it might be the 10-9. We don't know that the South has the 8 hand. But I remember reading a bridge book back from the 20s or 30s, and people, they spent a lot of time. Everybody played bridge in those days. In fact, after the Depression, the Eli Culberson Blue Book, I guess it was sold more books than any other books. And I mean any other books, not just bridge books. Everybody was into bridge in those days. And this person in one of the books said, when do you cover? And this pro said, when it's right. Well, that helps a lot. So there's a lot of it depends. But let's go on to the next one. I just wanted to say is that when you see that, I'm not trying to discourage you from following the rules, but we're not always going to get it right. So we're not going to be bidding these. We're just going to be, in the interest of time, we've done a fine job. Well, maybe we'll go ahead and bid this one. Why not? So I'm going to open 1 spade, and Patty, you've got 5 and another 5. And I don't know if that's 1 there, but you've got maybe 1 more distribution at least there. So I don't know what you want to bid with the north hand, but some people are going to do a Jacoby no trump. I think that's a little bit too pushy myself. And I don't think you want to do 3 spades. I think you've got a little bit more than that. Some people might. Some people say, well, I play Bergen system, and Bergen system, you've got a bid, don't you?
Yes.
What do you do with Bergen?
3 diamonds.
3 diamonds, yeah. 3 clubs says 6 to 9, and with 3 diamonds, it is showing 10 to 12 plus your 4 trump. So okay, that's pretty cool. So let's say your partner knows this convention, and they do 3 diamonds alerted. And it goes back to South, and we say, okay, that's great. So our losers are 1, 2, 3, 4, and I don't know. I guess we may have 1 in trump 5. So yeah, if our partner, normally when you make this bid, it shows that you have 3 cover cards. In some cases you may have 4, but most all the time, just figure when your partner does a jump raise, or they do a Bergen 3 diamonds, it's 3 to 4. something like that. So anyway, they end up in 6 spades, as you might guess. And so let's see what the lead is here this time. All 4 hands coming up. And got some honors there in the suits. I don't know if you want to make an aggressive lead on that or not. I think I would just lead a trump. Would you do that, Patty? Based if they got to a slam? I think I would do it like if
you're talking about
they lead by
West.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I don't know. Sometimes you're afraid of finessing your partner, but they're already at.
Well, there's 5 in the south
hand.
hand, so I mean, hey,
Yeah,
they're going to get finessed anyway, so it's not my fault, partner.
Yeah, you want to promote your diamonds and clubs, so go ahead and play the trump.
Play the trump. Okay, yeah, and that's what they did. Okay, a little to the jack, and do you think they should have played this jack or just played low? Doesn't matter.
I think you play low in case there's a void on the other
Yeah,
side.
I think that's a good strategy. Sometimes it doesn't matter, but always be thinking, what if they're like bad distribution against you? What if they're 4-0 to the 10 and you have to do a finesse? In this case, you do have all the top 4, so it's probably okay this time. But yeah, don't get in the habit of just always playing high and then it turns out bad distribution. It won't matter in this hand.
Right.
Okay, so
John adds passive leads to protect king and queen.
Exactly. I think just as though if it was 6 no trump, you certainly would never make a lead of this honors in the minor suits. Okay, so they play a diamond, and yeah, here's the question: do you go up with the king or not? And you can see this time if you go up with the king, you save it like, I don't get this. These things are, they're so hard. I'm having real problems understanding this. And so let's take a look at it just for another second. It's like, what is going on here? So the thing that makes this hand different is that it's only a double 10. If it was a triple 10 or something, yeah, I don't think I'm going to go up with the king. But in this case, if you do go up with the king, let's just follow it out and see why is going to be the work out better. A king, okay, they're going to cover with the ace, of course. And so, yeah, you want to rough some diamonds. You were 5-2. Hopefully they are, let's see, do we have 7? Yeah, 7. It would be nice, if we didn't have to rough it out, but it looks like that's probably going to be our strategy. So let's just go ahead and give them 1. And you can go low here. You've won it, and you come back with another spade. Yeah, we can see they're trying to do some roughing. So win with the queen. And okay. Do not cover with the queen. Cover with the 10. And go ahead and rough it. And I don't know, heart, I suppose. And yeah, take your ace. And what are you going to play? Heart, I guess. And back to your hand. And okay, they cover it and we rough it. Haha! But you can see in the end game here is that, yeah, we still got a trick we have to give them. They've got the queen covering the jack, and if they go up with the jack, then you can see you're going to lose too. So it was one of those where, although we don't normally say cover when there's not an honor, it's almost like if you visualize that it's queen third here, because if our partner doesn't have it, it's like after the ace and the king, it's almost like a virtual queen over there because they've got trump entries. So it's one that I thought I would show you. It's a little bit tricky, but it's one where it does matter. So let's go on to number 4. And what's the auction here? The auction is 6 no trump in the south. And so the opening lead, I think, is going to be how are they in 6 no trump? And I've got 10 points there in the major suits. What are they doing? How'd they get there? Well, I guess you would know if we looked at the auction that there's a lot of diamonds being bid in the north. In fact, how would you bid the north hand, Patty? I think I would go probably 1 diamond and then 3 diamonds. Some people might just say, oh, I'm going to open 2 no trump, but I don't really like opening 2 no trump normally with this type of a holding. If it was maybe king third of spades, but would you open it 1 diamond, or would you open it?
Yeah, because there could be distributional. But yes, 1 diamond.
1 diamond, I think. And then, so it's 1 diamond, and then, south is going to go 1 heart, and east, no, don't overcall 1 spade with that crash. And then your partner now probably is going to go 3 no trump. I think I would. If my partner's got 6 points, then it's like 3 no trump is what I would bid with the north hand. Would you be okay with that after hearing 1 heart?
Yeah, I've done it. Yep, I've done it.
Then after 3 no trump, you'd probably pass. Whereas the people who like open 3 no trump, if you think that, let's say that east was first and they passed, south passed, and west I think should come in at this point with 1 heart. But if they don't, if they say, well, I've just got 10 high card points, I don't really think so, I'm vulnerable versus not, whatever. And then north then goes 3 no trump. Is like, is it 25 to 27? So let's say it does that. I think this is kind of an interesting one that you'll wish you had talked about with your partners and probably never will, including me. You have to play with them a lot to get this. So it's pass, pass, and for some reason they pass. I wouldn't. And this person says, well, I'm just going to go 3 no trump. And like, is it gambling? Is it strong? Or are they afraid of like a major? What's going on? And so I, in the south hand, is like, well, I want to bid Stayman. So I do 4 clubs, and it's like, is that Gerber? Or is it asking for a 4-card major? Now the auction gets really tough, doesn't it, Patty?
Yeah.
So I would say, just kind of to cover this, is that play Super Gerber, after 3 no trump, is that bid 5 clubs to show your Gerber ask. You can still make a 5 no trump contract if you're worried about that. Play 4 clubs as being a Stayman. And from there they end up in 6 no trump, whatever. But just a little sidebar there. So okay, so the opening lead is definitely going to be the king, and to the ace, and they play the queen of clubs. And in this case, it's not like some doubleton deal and they're going to rough in or something. So yeah, you want to cover with that king. It's the last of touching honors. If you don't, bad things are going to happen with the south end. North we see has got a nice, long, strong suit. And so if we cover, we will have the winning. Now, it's nice that our partner had the 10. Otherwise, it wouldn't make a difference. But we've got those intermediate cards, as you can see, in east and west. And Grace has given me the hook, so I only have time to just cover this one very briefly. But it's a 3 no trump contract. And so, I'm sorry, it's in 4 spades, isn't it? Yeah, 4 spades contract. But the opening lead is the queen of clubs, and it holds good. You didn't show much encouragement over there in east, but I guess the 4 is better than the 2. So we saw a 7. So okay, partner, I think you want it continued. And the jack, and it holds. Okay, my partner looks like it's going to have 3, or maybe has 4, and they'll be rough it. No, it was 4 triple 3. Great. So we want to get back to our partner, and so I guess, what do we play, a trump? Yeah, play a trump. And they give the guess with the queen. And you know the drill. We don't want to cover. If we cover, we lose. If we don't cover. So I'd say about 80% of the time we are going to say cover the last of touching honors. If it turns out that you think it's a long suit and the dummy is rough, or you're going to block, as we saw, that would be an exception. And sometimes is when they're in the slam and there's like a 8 doubleton, you cover the 8 with your king, which is very rare. So I hope that helps a little bit. Does anybody have any questions, Grace? How are we doing?
There was a question regarding, I believe it was the last hand. How about opening with 2 hearts by the west?
Okay, the previous hand would be hand number 4. And I love these questions too because there's so much in these. So, very good question. So the auction went, and this shows somebody's thinking about the CIA, the counts, inferences, and analysis.
That was Howard.
Howard, thank you, Howard. So here's the deal. The 9 is helpful. I'd feel even better if it was the 10. You may remember that Marty Bergen, when he spoke, I think it was a Friday 2 weeks ago, and he kind of disrupted Bridge not only with his Marty Bergen bids, which was, for 1 of a major and then 3 of a minor to show 4 cards support, like Patty mentioned earlier, the Bergen raise. But he had some others, and one of them that he said was like, if you've got ace, king, and 3 little, you're not vulnerable, and this is in the diamond suit, and they've opened 1 heart, let's say, and this is your holding in diamonds, and you maybe have a singleton in spades, just bid 2 diamond. I'm sorry, they opened 1 club. You wouldn't want to do it there, so forget that. They opened 1 club, and you've got this holding, you just bid 2 diamonds. And that's kind of like, why would we do that? Well, because you want to make it hard for the opponents. And this, by the way, I've talked to Eddie Cantor about, whenever is 1 club, 2 diamonds, or 1 diamond, 2 clubs, it makes it hard for the next person. If you're thinking, well, I'd like to do a responsive or negative double and whatever, so a responsive double, excuse me. So in this auction, to answer your question, Howard, is that 2 hearts, I don't really have a problem with that. If you were vulnerable and if it was a match point game, you're rolling the dice and it still might work for you. I've had people make that bid with king 5 times against me, good players. So yeah, it's one that makes it speculative. And if you're wanting to, say, roll the dice to maybe have them go too high, now might be a good time to do it in 3rd seat. You do know this, though. You have heard 2 passes, and so I don't think they likely have, 10, 11 points each because, we have that value. So they're probably going to at least go to 2 spades, and maybe you can get them to be set. So very good observation. Thank you for that one. I like these. People are thinking bridge. I hope I can play with them as partners and not against them.
Yeah, we have to work that into the show one day.
I think so. Yeah, we'll have to do some of these where we
prize.
can... So Patty, I think, did she do a good job?
Patty does a great job.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Patty.
I like
And
your
so
names, Ray.
we're going to add another month to your, I think you have an Ultra, so we're going to add another month for there. Thank you for participating as always. You do a great job. Did you, most of it, although I know cover cards are hard, and I had some really tough ones, you feel like you understand the concept that we normally wait till the last of touching honors?
Yes, I now know it's not an automatic thing.
It's not an automatic, no. And so I guess that, if we get it right most of the time, 51% of the time, I think we're probably pretty happy with that. So thank you for participating. And Grace, what else do we have?
Just a reminder, get those questions in, title questions, send them to support@bridgehands.com, and we will take 1 or 2 of those on Fun Friday.
That's right. Look for those. I'll be the Swami again.
Which reminds me, I did put in the comments, see you Thursday. My bad. We will see you Friday. Fun Friday.
Friday is the next show. Yeah,
Friday.
So we're going to do Wednesday, Friday, and Saturdays for the Premium and Ultra members.
Correct.
So yeah, when you can, please make them live. If you can't, next week you'll... yes, go ahead.
Howard has one more question about repeating once more in the previous hand how you do know to cover the 8 with the king of diamonds.
I'm going to have to spend more time on that. I will come back with it on Friday, although I'm not going to make it more on cover cards, but I will try to explain that. But in essence, when they're in slam and there's just a doubleton, you have to kind of be thinking based upon your left-hand opponent's bid and what partner might have in the suit. I probably wouldn't do it myself normally, but that's one of those very challenging hands. And the reason I brought it up was to say is that there is, I'm guessing maybe 10 or 20% of the time, it isn't always right with a doubleton to go up with the king. But you have to realize is that if they don't finesse you this time, will they finesse you next time? Yeah, or else why are they making that kind of a play? So I hope that provides most of the answer. Is when they've got a big hand and there's just a doubleton there. If they don't catch you this time, they're going to catch you next time. Now, if you think your partner has the queen and you have the king, once again, they may win the first one, but the second one they catch you. So when you have the split king-queen, I hope that provides some of it. Long answer.
Yeah.
Okay, so at any rate, thank you all. Thank you, Patty, once again, and I hope you guys have a wonderful Bridge Day out there in Bridgeland. And so we will see you again on Friday. So until then, as always, happy trails. And Patty, would you please help us here?
Please, do us the honor, Patty.
Oh, let's do a trio.
Okay, trio it is. Go for it. Happy trails to you until we meet again. Thank you.
Happy trails to you. Keep smiling until then.
Ooh, thank you.
Happy trails to you till we meet on Friday.
Ooh, that sounds like someone from the choir. Ho-ho! Thank you, Patty. Everybody, take care.
Thank
Until
you.
next time. Have a
You
good day.
too.
Yeah, bye-bye.